Oh, wait, you can see a
Hello?
back.
I have no idea if it's working. Wait. Hello? Are we live? Let's find out. I can't tell if we just went live or not.
Oh,
We're
hey, there we
live.
are.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, it's Heidi and Emily.
Emily, hi. Sorry, just
We're
checking to make sure that.
checking out our new technology.
Yes, we're trying this new fancy broadcast thing so we can show you some slides. But we have no idea what we're doing, and we can't really tell if it's working. And if you're commenting, we can't see it. So
Thanks.
we hope you're here watching. Okay, so.
Oh,
No, you.
welcome. We're excited to have you here.
Okay, we're having a teacher appreciation week, even though it's not May, in our Facebook group. We're doing a whole week of just fun things for the people who are in our Facebook group. So we have a link on the, what's that called? On the little thing with this broadcast, there's a link. You can come and join our Facebook group, and we're doing daily giveaways and daily deals and just fun things. People are helping us vote on some new rough drafts of our logo and just fun things like that. So come and join, because that's really fun. And will you tell them about the webinar?
So Wednesday
morning
and Thursday evening, we're going to do a webinar that Emily's been working hard on about reading fluency, because that's something we're very passionate about, and we know that affects a lot of teachers, because it affects how your students learn to read. And so we want to be able to share with you some of what we've learned about reading fluency.
Right. So it's a free live training, and you can sign up for either of the times from the link in this little blurb. And we're going to try and offer a replay if you can't make it to either of those times. So still sign up for one. And if I can figure out the technology to send you a replay, you'll get an email. But I can't guarantee it will work, because this is the first time we've done it. So, yeah, so we want to give you just a little snippet of the webinar and talk a little bit about fluency, in case maybe you're not very familiar with reading fluency. So let me connect over here. That will work to
Fingers
our
crossed.
okay,
Technology.
Okay, where is it?
Oh dear.
Let's see if that's
Did
going to
it
go
work?
live screen. It says we're sharing.
Okay.
So whoa! I'm listening. Okay.
Okay.
I think it's
Yay!
working. I think maybe there's just a little bit of a delay, but I think it's working.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Phew.
So this is a little glimpse at just a snippet of our fluency webinar, and it's called Unlocking the Power of Fluency, because we're talking about how when your students know how to read fluently, it really does unleash this power for them to be able to read and understand what they're reading so much better. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and you'll see as they become more fluent, their abilities begin to skyrocket, because they have the tools that they need to become these masterful readers.
Right. So the most obvious question is, what is fluency? And when we talk about fluency, we're specifically talking about oral reading fluency. And even if you have students that are reading high enough that they aren't often reading out loud, you still want to be doing oral reading fluency practice with them reading out loud, because that's the way that you can give them feedback and help them apply those skills, so that when they are silent reading, they're reading fluently in their mind. So talking about the big idea of fluency here, we've got this cute Matryoshka doll. That's made up of a few different parts. And the first one is accuracy, and it's the biggest one because it's really important. A child can't read fluently if they can't read the text, which is why it's so important, and we'll talk about this in the webinar, but it's so important that you choose text that's on appropriate levels for your students when they're practicing fluency. So reading accurately is made up of having sight word knowledge and some word solving skills in their toolbox that they can use when they come to a word that they don't know. And also having the ability to self-correct. They're reading and they realize, wait, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't sound right, and go back and fix it. They need those skills to read accurately, and accurate reading is a big part of what fluency is. And the next thing is phrasing. And phrasing is reading smoothly, and they need to have the ability to focus on multiple words at one time as they're looking at a sentence, so that they can really understand the whole message of what the sentence is trying to say instead of focusing on just part of the sentence. And then the next important thing is expression, which is when we hear people talk about practicing fluency, a lot of what they're practicing is expression. And it is very important. We want their expressive reading, their fluent reading to sound like talking. And they use emphasis on certain words that they're reading, and that they use tone as well, so that they're adding color and meaning to the things that they are reading. Did I skip over the thing you were going to say?
Oh, I was just going to mention that if you are learning about reading fluency at all, you might sometimes see the mention of prosody, which is more about, phrasing, so that you're putting ideas that go together instead of just word by word.
Right.
Meaning toneless reading.
Yeah, when a student's reading word by word, they really can't connect the ideas together to read it fluently, and that also impacts how much they're understanding what they're reading, which is why fluent reading is so important. And the very last tiniest doll here is rate, and that's because it's actually the least important part of fluent reading. It's a factor for sure, but because it's the easiest to assess, sometimes too much emphasis is put on reading rate and improving their reading rate, when it really needs to be a less important part of the whole fluent reading picture. It needs to be all of these things, but not as much emphasis on rate, because then a student starts to think that as long as they're reading fast and they're improving their time on their timed readings, then they're improving their fluency. And that's not necessarily true, but rate is important. Definitely don't want to say it's not important. Okay, so yeah, you go ahead.
So when we start to teach kids how to read, the first focus is obviously on phonics, because if you can't figure out what a word says, then you can't read it. So we take these little ones and we start focusing on, letters and sounds, and help them learn to blend words. And then we when I was a new teacher, the next step, I taught second grade, so it was kind of that bridge. I had little kids at the beginning of the year. We're still working on, beginning blends and digraphs. And then once they had all of those letter sounds down, we would do a big jump into comprehension and trying to help them understand those Jack and Annie books. And there was a breakdown between the kids that have learned letters and sounds, but they're not improving in their reading because they don't have the comprehension. So what we didn't know at the time was that there's a connection between phonics and comprehension, and that's why we need to teach reading fluency, because it's the way to get from the word to the meaning is how it's the ideas that you put behind it. Yeah. So we hope that you are excited to join us for our webinar on Wednesday. So yes, 2 days.
Wednesday morning and Thursday night. You can join us here. I'll stop sharing this. Wait.
Maybe not.
If I can find. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Stop sharing.
Oh, there we are.
Okay. So yeah, we hope you'll join us on Wednesday or Thursday for the full webinar. That little blurb was just explaining what fluency is, which you may already know all of that, but we're going to go deeper, and we're going to talk about how you can teach it and how you can monitor it and assess it and manage teaching fluency in your class without a lot of headache. So we'll share all of our tips and tricks for doing that, and we'll have a Q&A if you have questions.
Make sure to pop over to our Facebook group to get our goodies for Teacher Appreciation, which really should be in July as you're starting to ramp up for, I don't even want to say it, but the next year.
Yes, it now seems like a good time to shower you with love as you're thinking about going into the next school year. So come join our Facebook group. The link is in the post, and sign up for the webinar. And if you have any questions, you can leave them here and we'll come back and answer them later tonight, or you can come join the Facebook group and ask your questions there. So we will see you on Wednesday or Thursday.
Thanks so much. Have a good night.